Hi, and welcome back to the Vlogger Interviews. Today's interview is with the sort of vlogger that would make a network executive's blood run cold. He's 21 years old, he makes his living on YouTube, and he's not interested in using it as a jumping off point to somewhere else. He's where he wants to be. His name is Ryan Aid. His channel is ForSkitsAndGiggles. Enjoy, it's a good one. How did you get from 0 to over 242,000 subscribers? I mean, where did it all start for you?
Well, I guess it's just all has to come down with like networking and kind of doing your best to show other people that you're worthy of their attention. You know, starting off with like small collabs always is really good. Yeah, I worked with like people like Comic Fire, he's a younger YouTuber, and when he was coming up, we worked together and things like that really helped spread the channel. Also, just kind of making sure that I marketed myself in like a successful way, upgrading my content, upgrading my equipment, just doing things to show people that I was serious, and then in return, you know, you start to grow. It takes a lot of work. I mean, like it's like a sickening amount of self-promotion, and it almost looks ridiculous at times. But like I just kind of slaved away at things for a good like year and a half, just making content that spread itself almost, and that kind of worked. And then, you know, just it's all self-promotion. You have to do it yourself. You can't expect everybody to just hand it to you. And I guess that's what I learned when I first started.
Is that really a difference between people who, you know, try to do what you're doing and don't get any views? They don't really understand that that's part of it?
Well, a lot of people also expect like, hey, I have 50 subscribers, so I want to work with Mr. Guitar Man. And you have to look at it in his concept. Like, what are you offering him? If you have one video and no ideas, why would he work with you? So if you come with somebody with an idea already at hand and good content, there's a better chance that they're going to take you more seriously and kind of help you out. And even back in the day, that would be like putting you in a box, when we all thought that boxes were the best thing in the world before we realized the downfall of that. That was a big deal because it was self-promotion and it was good marketing effects and stuff like that. But so many people expect too much from people that they don't even know. And they get really upset, and then they just stop for no reason. So
how long have you been doing this now?
I had an old channel, which I didn't do anymore. I think started that in late 2008, and I started just like everybody else. I had a webcam. I didn't know I had a webcam, so I was like, oh man. I made a funny dance video, you know, typical ridiculous video, and I think I got 1,000 views in a week. I thought I was famous. You know, I was walking around my school, telling people, and then I guess I failed so many times that once I was ready to try to really succeed at it, I really kind of hit it hard. But I think you need to fail. It's almost weird. Like I tell people, you want to fail, because then when you succeed, it feels so much better. Because I see a lot of people that get handed out gifts on YouTube, maybe a nice shout out. Maybe it's their brother or something that gets 100,000 subscribers. They didn't really do anything for them, right. And they stop making videos, and they don't know what it's like to really get that success and feel really good about themselves. But yeah, I started back in like 2008, just uploading horrific videos, and then just progressed from there over time.
What's your background? How did you get into this?
It's just curiosity and boredom. I think that's what most people kind of get into it for. I had an account. I think I wanted to watch a video of pandas fighting years ago, and I had to sign in to watch it, so I created an account. And then I guess I just got curious, you know, just saw that a webcam, and I was like, wow, I think that YouTube site, you can upload videos. Let's try that. I didn't know that there was a community. I didn't know money was even made. I think the reason that people also fail is they go into it just wanting money. You know, if you tell somebody that you do YouTube full time, the first thing is like, oh, how can I do that? How can I make money? And it's just ridiculous to go into it thinking you're going to make money off of making videos. So I started off just bored, just wanting to upload things and seeing if anybody cared. And then once I saw that a couple people did care, there weren't some nice people, but I think you got to like look at the good. And once I saw that there were some people that laughed at it, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'll kind of go with this.
What
So.
what do you think? What's your goal? I mean, in terms of YouTube or in terms of your career in general? I mean, do you want to use this as a jumping off point, or is this the destination that you want to grow?
It's a really interesting thing. I mean, like years ago, I guess it would be considered a jumping off point. Now you could consider it the point you want to be at. I think there's a lot of things I'd like to do. I mean, like a lot of people, I'd probably like to be more of the guy that kind of helps everybody, produces, does my own thing with networks and stuff, because networks are popping up left and right, and I've always been curious on, how that would work if I started my own. But I mean, I'm at a place right now where I'm comfortable where I'm at. I'm not trying to go crazy, but I'm always doing new things. Like I just started a Twitter that's been my focus for the last 3 or 4 months, but definitely kind of running my own type of network, almost like Machinima, Maker Studio, kind of like that. And that would be down the line years. But right now, the way YouTube's going, I think that this is a pretty good starting point. So,
well, that's a good point for me to bring up this. There was an editorial yesterday in the Daily Variety, the entertainment industry paper, by a guy named David Cohen in his Tech Bites column. He said, "The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that YouTube is getting ready to burn down the film entertainment business as we know it. In fact, the match has already been struck. We just haven't felt the heat yet." So, yeah. As one of the people holding the torches, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's something that we've always expected as YouTubers. Like, we always have to fight with people to plead with them. Like, believe me, it's better than you think. Give us a chance. Because for so many years, I mean, I respect Lucas Cruikshank, Fred, but for years it was just him. If I said anything about YouTube, it was just Fred. And it was like, no, there's better content than that, and there's more. There are people making legit videos and are doing this without speeding up their voice and talking about squirrels, and it doesn't have to be Fred. And then once it got past that, it was still cat videos and stuff like that. But now, if you go to the homepage, well, except for right now where the bots are kind of doing something which I'm not happy about. But for at least for the last year, it's community videos. It's not cat videos anymore. That homepage is full of Ray William Johnson, Shane, and Epic Mealtime, Freddie W., which is perfect because that's showing the industry that, they're putting in millions of dollars into a movie that might make them, $10 million. And then there's people like Freddie W., who is getting maybe 20 to 30 million views a month. Mm-hmm. So I think they're looking at it like, what are we doing wrong? And they're going to start tapping into that. So, yeah.
Now, one of the unique things, of course, about creating a channel on YouTube is your interaction with your audience. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about that? How that's been sort of involved in the growth of your channel?
Interaction's really big. I mean, you can't ignore everybody. I do a lot of things on my Facebook, my fan page. So I respond to every single comment, every wall post. It doesn't matter. I just respond to it, no matter what they have to say. And then same with Twitter. Just replying people. Little things like that can make somebody more loyal to you, and you can kind of gain their respect. Then on YouTube, to get interaction up, I just basically do something where I have a couple songs, and I pick 2 songs, and they pick what they want to see. So they ultimately decide what parody is going to be done. If they don't want to do this one, then that won't get picked. So I think that excites them to know that they can ultimately choose what they're going to watch. And it's just an easy way to get interaction up. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be revolutionary as long as it's successful. And
is that really what the big difference between traditional entertainment and YouTube entertainment is the interaction, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even with most TV stars, a lot of the times their Twitter it's not their Twitter. Even though there are some stars that still are personally doing it, a lot of the times I think traditional media is just known for not being reachable. Or people on YouTube, you reply to them and they'll more than likely respond. And I think that's pretty cool.
Now, in terms of where you see this going, I mean, where do you see your how would you like to evolve your content? I know you gave me specifics, but in terms of, in general, where would you like to go?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have skits in my username, and I went to parodies, which was just something I never knew that I liked doing, and then I was like, oh, these are awesome. But I would like to go back to some maybe short skits and short film stuff. And I mean, what I'm doing now is kind of ultimately where I wanted to be in terms of like what my content looks like. You know, I always wanted an SLR camera, a DSLR, and once I got that, I was pretty happy. And then I just focused on getting new lenses and stuff, and just worked at that. But I guess I just want to reach more people and just kind of change things up every now and then. I like doing dubs, like voice dubs and things, almost like commercial style, where they take like a, you know, the ShamWow and you dub over that. I would like to do some of those things, maybe on a side channel. But no, right now I'm comfortable with what I'm producing. I do realize that, you know, you do have to change it up to be successful. So I'll definitely focus on that in the next year.
And you think that there's still, outside of the YouTube community and people who are already plugged in, there doesn't seem to be still a lot of understanding about what the vlogging community is.
Yeah, people don't get the fact that, you know, you can just talk to a camera and people will listen, especially if you're going to a video for a first time, say you don't know who Charles Trippy is, and you see a video that's 20 minutes long, you're not going to watch it. You're going to be, what is this loser doing? A 20-minute video, he's talking to the camera, and then you might see, why does this have 100,000 views? You know, did he say something, you know, that's sparking interest or what? And then you watch it, and you think it's stupid, and then you watch another one, and then 15 videos later, it's dark out, and you're subscribed to Charles Trippy. It kind of sucks you in. So I think a lot of people who don't understand vlogging, I think just don't understand the concept of it at first. But once you get it down, it's a simple thing. They're just documenting their life, and they're showing it to you. And I think once you get that down, you want to be a part of their life. You want to see what they're doing. You start to care about their dogs and the little things that they do. It's pretty cool.
So in actuality, it sort of is a more real reality television, if I can call it that, I suppose.
It is. I mean, it's still edited. They can still edit whatever they want out, but it's so much more realistic than reality TV, of course, because reality TV, even though they say it's real, is all scripted, right? For the most part, regardless. So yeah, I would say it's definitely more real.
What do you think is the number one thing that people should understand when they decide to start creating on YouTube?
I just say don't go in it with such huge expectations. Start low, start small. I think like the biggest thing is people will go to the homepage and they might see a Freddie W video and they might think, wow, I need that camera. I need to edit like him. And I need to get up to a point where I'm getting 5 million views a video. And you can't do that. You have to start. I always think that progression is the best. Start with a webcam. And then when you buy a flip camera or you buy a small camera, you want to film because now you have a better camera. And then when you upgrade to maybe a handheld camera, it makes you want to film even more because now you have a brand new camera. And then once you get to an SLR, you're so excited, you're so ready, and at that point, you're at the point where you know what you're doing, and you can start focusing on your content even more. So I don't like when people start out with a really nice camera and they think that they have to do all these effects, because it's not the case. I think to spark your excitement, I think it has to start small. So my best advice is always just low expectations. Don't expect the world, you know. Just start small.
On that thought, what was when you first began? What was your greatest misconception
about YouTube?
About YouTube,
I guess that people weren't mean. I didn't think they would be so mean. It is funny. I mean, you learn to just literally laugh at it after a while, but at first it's actually very scary. I mean, it's tough when friends ask me like, you know, should I do YouTube? And it would even be tough to tell them yes, because like it really, at first you hear really mean things and things that you never even knew about yourself, flaws that you never thought that you had, and it's very eye-opening. Sometimes it's technically even good because it can open your eyes to things that maybe you can grow on as a person, but for the most part, it's not the nicest stuff. So I definitely didn't think YouTube was full of such mean people, but there's so many people out there that are so nice. And then once you kind of defeat the haters, everything is good. But yeah, people don't realize how bad it can get.
And final question, what do you like the most about this whole experience that you've had on the last few years on YouTube?
I mean, there's just so many things. I mean, you meet so many people that change your life and kind of open your eyes to things that you never saw. I've learned more from the internet, just in general, than I did from high school. it's just so many things that you learn that you never, so many people don't know, because it's such an interesting realm. And just, you get to travel, you get to do so many things, you get experiences, you get to do things, I get to talk to people like you, which I wouldn't have done if I wasn't on YouTube. It's just such a life-changing thing, and it sounds so ridiculous to say that, but it's pretty much just this new thing that still no one really knows about, that you're kind of helping to pioneer, I guess, if you would say. And it's kind of a chapter of my life that I know I'll look back on and be like, that was pretty cool. I did some really cool things. And I like that. So,
thank you, Ryan. Make sure you check out Ryan's channel for Skits and Giggles. And if you want to keep on top of vlogger interview news, follow me on Twitter at RickFlix. I will see you next time.